Good afternoon, all of you. First of all, I introduce myself. I'm Petrus, your DBA Program Deputy Director. So actually, our Program Director, Professor Wilson Chong, right now is in China attending the Asian Finance Forum. So he asked me to convey his appreciation to all of you to attend this DBA Program Information Seminar. Now, okay, so this information seminar today for this 1.5 hours or so, I would like to introduce some highlight and special features of our DBA program. Now, today myself will deliver the first part. The second part, we invite Dr. Buston Zhu. He is our 2017 DBA graduate. He would like to share with you his DBA journey. So actually, he spent 3 years to finish his program with all the success. He just passed all the top subjects as well as the doctoral thesis. So Buston is going to help us to share with you some special highlight or what his experience for attending the DBA program. Now, why DBA? First of all, from a general perspective, so what is DBA? Now, you can see that undergraduate, the main features of undergraduate is knowledge transfer. So which means the lecturer transfer the knowledge to the student, that undergraduate. Then after you finish undergraduate, you then attend a postgraduate or master degree. Now what's the objective of master degree? Is knowledge transfer as well as knowledge application. So which means it's not only the lecturer, it's not only transfer knowledge to you, but also it tells you how to apply a specialized areas of knowledge. Now we go to doctor level. What is doctor level? Which include knowledge transfer, knowledge application, most importantly in the case of doctoral level is knowledge creation. So when you attend DBA course at doctoral level, we also expect you after you finish that course, in particular during the doctoral thesis, you may have to create new knowledge. That is doctoral level. Now having said that, based on this objective of doctoral level, our program is actually 3 main purposes. The first purpose is we try to broadening, update and deepen the student knowledge of business administration in general. So this is in general how we tailor or structure a program. We try to give you a more detailed knowledge of business administration because our program is Doctor of Business Administration. Now, having said that, we're going to also allow you to have knowledge creation. So having said that right before that, we try to structure our program in a way you may have to focus or specialize your research in a particular area. So our structure, our program is contained altogether 15 specialized subjects. Now in this 15 specialized subjects, you are expected to choose 5 specialized subjects. Now specialized subject in a way whereby is the lecturer or the professor will tell you a specific area that you're going to take. I'm going to share with you what are the 15 specialized areas. So having said that, based on your research interest or based on your experience, you can take 5 out of 15 specialized subjects. Then, most importantly, after you finish the top subject, then you have to conduct your doctoral thesis. So this doctoral thesis is trying to sharpen your ability to conduct original applied research in business administration. As I said, doctoral level is very important, it's knowledge creation. So our program in such a way is for the first 1.5 years, you finish all the top subjects. After which you develop, or during which you develop your research interest. Then we go to the second part. This is another 1.5 years. Then you conduct your research with your thesis supervisor. So there are 2 parts. I'm going to share with you later on when we talk about the program structure. So having said that, what we're trying to do here is in the case of DBA, PolyU DBA, based on this 3 specific objectives of PolyU DBA program, we are trying to nurture, we call it scholar leader. What do you mean by scholar leader? Now, my experience is most of you are very experienced and senior executive. So maybe perhaps is for the past years, when you're doing all the management practices, you may not be really have to identify your practices into different boxes, which means is, for example, in your daily practices, when you practice something, you may not have to say, oh, by the way, while I'm doing this, I'm doing leadership or doing strategic planning. You're probably not doing this. Now, so having said that, most of the cases, most of us, because of the being for a commercial practice for the last 20 to 30 years, Most of you will be, I'm not saying most, but some of you may be followers. Followers means you may follow your senior, but you seldom ask why I have to do that. So having said that, this program is trying to nurture you is from a perspective whereby it enhances your ability to explore, to research, to transform all the academic study or concept into practice. So that's the reason why I said scholar leader. Reason because scholar or researcher, when they do research, they try to put everything into different boxes. Then they try to study each boxes in different way. So which means is from a so-called scholar perspective, when you do the research, you're going to dig into very details about a particular area. So that is why we said scholar leader. Now the purpose of scholar leader is after you finish that program, my experience told me it's like this. You may be able to have a very good knowledge how to look at academic perspective, then you understand, you digest and transform into your own practices. That is what's the purpose of this program, we call it scholar leader. So we said all the practice nowadays is from theory, is from study, is from research. So having said that there are a big pool of study already on the market or already exists. But the question is how you explore and research and transform into your own practices. This program, the objective, the aim of which is try to allow you to apply research finding in solving real world management problems. Then secondly, is to integrate academic study and management practices to form a significant and integral part of your business career. So that's what I'm saying is you have the ability to explore, research, digest, and transform some academic research to your own real world. That's why we say scholar and leader. Now, if you're able to do that, you no longer be a follower. You become the business leader. Reason because you're able to take out the findings of research and transform into your own practices. That is the purpose of our DBA program. So on and off, you may see that, but our program always emphasize scholar, leader. You are both a scholar and leader after you attain the DBA destination. For this DBA program, it is a part-time program. So which means you can earn your doctoral degree with, at the same time, you can also pursue your career. So which means a part-time program, on one hand, you have to work, you can work at the same time, you can pursue your highest academic achievements of DBA program. So how it work out? So PolyU is the first university in Hong Kong to offer DBA program in Hong Kong. At the same time, we also have a D management program in mainland China. So actually PolyU have two programs, doctoral level, one is DBA, one is D management. Now, all the local, other than PolyU, all the local universities in Hong Kong, they all just offer DBA program, not the management program. Now, so that's the reason why is PolyU, DBA program, we have another features. Because we have a good pool of students as well as graduates in Hong Kong, but at the same time, we have a very good pool of students and graduates in China. So you can see that there's close interaction between this program. So we have a lot of events that organized for DBA student and graduate, as well as D management student and graduate. Most of the cases, we have the event to interact with each other. So we have a very close relationship between DBA and D management program, but not any other local university in Hong Kong. Then we have 20 years of experience. Last year, we have, actually 2016, we already attained 20 years of experience. So which means is, so far is our model or teaching model or structure has been good for the last 20 years. We have about 200 scholars, but out of which we draw 60. All right, the 60 will be the field supervisor. So you can pick the supervisor from an average of 60 supervisors. In addition to this, we have Faculty of Business have a very close relationship with the Nobel Prize winner. So we have, for example, we have invited all the Nobel Prize winners to attend seminars or speech. This year, we invite Professor Robin Engel to come to Hong Kong to deliver a talk. It's in Hotel Icon. So on and off, our Faculty of Business, because of their close relationship with the Nobel Prize winner, on and off, we are holding this kind of public lecture. So I said already, 2 years ago, November 2016 is our 10th anniversary. We have a seminar. So the theme of the seminar of the Asia Forum is Global Economic Outlook. So we invite 3 distinguished speakers to attend or deliver the Global Economic Outlook. So on and on, during a year, we also hold public lecture or public seminar. So these are some of the examples. Is Dr. Stella Kwan, who's our graduate. So he's delivered a speech. He's the managing director of Onping 360. He's a very active member of DBA Alumni Association. So we also have Raymond Chow. He's the PwC PricewaterhouseCoopers Asia Pacific and Greater China Chairman. He's one of my best friends. He's also Mary Boy. He's from economists. So on and off, you can see that we have also, Anders Leung is also one of our graduates. So he is the CEO and co-founder of Run Our City, the marathon charitable organization. How about our program? Now, first of all, our program is part-time based. Now, remember part-time. Part-time means is if you're going to join us, right, you have to engage your time and efforts. At the same time, you may have to sacrifice something. Reason because if you're going to join us for the coming years, you have to work a very good balance, your work, your study, your family, it's also your pets, your friends, your relatives. So everybody is studying with you. All right, so you have to prepare yourself, you have to make a decision. Once you join the program, you may have to do some sacrifice and compromise of your working as well as your family life. It's a part-time base. Altogether, you have to achieve 51 credit. I'll explain to you later on, what are the elements of the 51 credit. So a block teaching mode. What do you mean by block teaching mode? Block teaching mode is for the first 1.5 years, you are expected to finish 8 taught subjects. So which means is first 1.5 years, you have 4 semesters. So on average, which means it's 2 taught subjects per semester. 2. So far, okay, that we call it block teaching mode. So which means is for the first 1.5 years, you have to come to PolyU to attend classes. Now, I want to make some point to you for this so-called block teaching mode. DBA, the taught subject that we are offer, is we are not only providing you with knowledge transfer, knowledge application, but knowledge creation. So having said it, in our taught subject, we are going to share with you, the lecturer or professor will tell you how to do research of a specialized area. What are the contemporary issues? What are the research that you conduct? Which means is the content of the classes of this taught subject for DBA, they already get ready for you to do a research of that area, which is very different from a master degree level. So you have to distinguish between the two. It's quite different in a sense. Then we have, most of the cases, we have weekend classes, which means your Saturday and Sunday. Now, on and on, we receive some inquiry, what do I mean by taught classes? What do I mean by weekend classes? Now, just for your information, one subject, normally we have 30 contact hours, right? So one weekend, we are going to have 6 hours. So which means is if your class is arranged on Saturday, you come to attend classes 6 hours. So which means it's 30 hours divided by 6, which means it's 5 classes. So far, okay? So which means is in a semester, if you register one subject, you are expected to come back 5 times. So far, okay? 5 times 6 is equal to 30 hours. So if you take 2 subjects, which means you have to come back 10 times. All right, 5 times 2 is 10 times. So I can see that, yes, it's quite intensive, but it's manageable. You can manage. Then the normal duration is 3 years, which is first 1.5 years is a taught subject. As I said, 2 subjects per semester. Then after you finish the taught subject, then you proceed with the doctoral thesis, another 1.5 years. This 1.5 years is include 2 parts. The first part is your thesis proposal, 6 months. So you have to prepare your proposal. Then you attend, I'm going to share with you, is you attend a residential workshop to present your proposal. After your proposal has been approved, then you go to your final thesis. So this, the second 1.5 years, is include your thesis proposal for 6 months and 1 year for your final thesis. If you complete that, then you can finish your program in 3 years. Some of our students do not intend to be so intensive to finish the program in 3 years, then they extend to 6 years. Maximum is 6 years, unless you have very special reason. So this 51 credit is divided into 3 main streams. The first one is 8 course subject, which is 1 compulsory, which is 2 core and 5 elective subjects. Now this compulsory subject and core subject is research driven. So which means is this 3 subjects is purely tell you how to conduct a doctoral research driven. Then the 5 elective is more on a specialized area. So for example, if I'm finance people, you can take financial management. So in this taught subject, as I said, you can share with the professor your research interests, your research inclinations, as well as the subject lecturer may tell you what are the contemporary issues of a research in a particular elective subject. In addition to this, you have to attend 2 workshops. The first workshop is so-called orientation. I'll tell you later on, right? The second workshop, as I said, is your presentations of a thesis proposal. Then finally, we have a DBA thesis, the second 1.5 years, as I mentioned, which include your thesis proposal as well as the final thesis. I'm going to tell you later on. Now, first of all is compulsory and core. The compulsory is, we call it business research analysis and design. That will tell you all the fundamental and basic knowledge of how to conduct a doctoral thesis. Then in addition to this, you have to take 2 out of 3 core subjects. Now it depends on your research area. If I'm going to do research for management subject, you probably will take qualitative research plus statistical analysis. Reason because econometric methods is most of the cases is to accounting and finance. So you don't have to take all 3 subjects. It depends on the type of research that you're going to conduct. Meantime, you don't have to worry. Reason because the first year, in the first semester, in the first year, you take statistics first, which means it's no matter going to do some qualitative and quantitative research, you take statistics. After 1 year, then you can decide whether you're going to do some accounting and finance research, we will take econometrists, or you're going to do some management research, you take qualitative research. Right? 2 out of 3, depends on the type of research you're going to conduct. Elective, we said already, you take 5 specialized areas. So these are the 15 areas that you're going to have with research, the financial management, economic, etc. So then we have the accounting, we have business decision, marketing, strategic management on IT, marketing, strategic marketing, quality management, supply chain, logistics management. So far these 15 areas, especially elective, is we are confident that somehow is cover most of the research area for business administration. All right? As we said, we have 2 residential. The first residential will be held a sort of orientation. So it will be sometime held in August and September of the first year before you start the program. So if you're going to join us, you're going to take DBA Residential Workshop number 1 in August or September 2018, right before you start the program in September. So it's sort of orientation will tell you what you're going to prepare to start up your DBA program so that you can start to pick up the momentum. So after the taught subject, so which means it's before the taught subject, after the taught subject 1.5 years, then you attend so-called residential workshop 2. This is your thesis proposal presentation. All right? Normally in May, we're going to have a thesis proposal. In addition to this, now as I said, 2 taught subjects per semester. Now when I'm set 4 semester, semester 1, 13 weeks. Semester 2, 13 weeks. Summer semester, 7 weeks, because it's summer. Now you can imagine a situation, if you take 2 elective, which means it's 10 weeks, 10 weekend, you come back in 13 weeks, I can manage. But in summer, 7 weeks, come back 10 times per 7 weeks, Somebody said it's very, very tight. Now what happened is we give you a sort of alternate arrangement. You don't have to attend the top subject. You can go to IMD in Lausanne, attend the business executive training course. Now this is IMD I was there. It's amazing. In IMD Lausanne, that year there are about 350 or 360 senior executives all around the world gathered to take this program. This will run for 5 days. So including travel time, you have to attend 7 days. You have to spend 7 days. 7 days you come back to write up a report. So this is summer. So you can see that if you take that subject, you don't have to attend classes. You can go to Lausanne, attend the training. Instead of Lausanne, you can take LSE in London. So these are the collaborative university with PolyU. Is during summer, you can opt to go to Lausanne or you go to London rather than attend classes in PolyU. So this is an independent research project. There are 2 parts. One is called Thesis 1. Thesis 1 is your thesis proposal. After you finish the thesis proposal, as I said, you attend residential workshop 2. Then you have to present your proposal. You present a proposal in front of a panel of 3 members. So they'll hear your proposal, they'll comment to improve the content of a proposal. Once they improve and endorse your proposal, you can start thesis 2, your final thesis. All right, this is normally a duration of 1.5 years, 1.5 years. So half years is your thesis 1 for proposal, 1 year for final thesis. Then, most importantly, we said already how to measure the standard is proportional quality. And then you have to contribute to the practice and the applications of business administration. As I said, knowledge creation. So we do have, after we have the thesis, if your supervisor believes that or opinion that you're on a proportional quality, they'll help you to publish a paper. So these are some of the journals which include top class journal that we publish. So which means is, in order to attain to make sure your thesis is on a quality level, will be in a so-called proportional quality. That is a standard we try to achieve. I hope you can get some idea about whether you're going to apply or not. Right? That's the first step, but we encourage you to try to apply as soon as possible. So after you receive your application, if you meet the requirement, we'll arrange an interview with you. I'm not saying interview, but a sharing section. Right? We're going to share with you is your research inclination, your research interest, most importantly, whether you are able or commit to this program. Reason because we want to make sure you are able to finish that program. That's very important. Then after the interview, if everything goes smooth, we'll make an offer to you, right, to invite you to join our program. So the offer is on a rolling basis. What do I mean by rolling basis? We are not doing that. We finish the interview at one time, then we make an offer. We don't have a clear cutoff. Reason because rolling basis means is once we make an offer, you accept, we only admit 20 students. Once we accept, reduce 1. So which means is since we accept, we are only 19 quota, 19 offer. So which means is all our 20 students is meet, we close. So which means is as soon as you apply, the sooner you can get an interview, the sooner you get offer, the sooner you accept offer, then you get a place. Otherwise, if it's too late, if we fill up the quota, we cannot admit more students. Our quota is only 20. All right? So if you want more information about our program, you can go to our website. Then the online application, we have also a link. If you need anything, please send me an email. All right? I can be in contact with this email address. Right? You send me an email, we try to answer as much as possible. So just in case if you have more detail, you can approach our research office, RPSS, Research and Postgraduate Student Section. Now, at this section, I'm going to pass to Dr. Buston Ju, our 217 DBA graduate. He will try to share his experience for the past 5 years on our DBA program. So let us welcome Buston.
Yep.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Poly U. Welcome to the DBA Information Seminar. My name is Buston. I really feel warm when I come here because in the past 3 years, every Saturday, every Sunday, I came here and shared time with my cohorts. It is very enjoyable. And today I would like to share my journey in DBA with you, and hope that you will share the same after 3 years or maybe even earlier. This is Sebastian Chu. Born in 2014 in the DBA program, okay? And then done in 2017. I'm really glad that I can manage to make it after all, because it is a tough journey, yet it is meaningful. I can assure you that. Especially just when Patrick said, here we find so many supportive professors, and in fact, of course, just like Patrick, I'm so amazed whenever I write him and other professors an email, they reply me very fast. It's amazing. I just don't know how can they squeeze so much time. So, in fact, have you watched the movie about Benjamin Button? Benjamin Button? Any one of you? Yeah, it's just it's a very amazing story. Just like when he was born as a baby, just like an old man. But then when he keep growing and growing, then he becomes young. And I just think about that. When I was young, I didn't spend much time in study. And then after I finished my study in school, then I work, and then after 30 years, I just can't imagine how can I pick up the study again and then finish the DBA program. And in fact, that is an idea I never dared to dream. In fact, of course, that is not the photo of me in the DBA program, but in fact, that is in my MBA program. So the idea, my dream, was ignited when I put on my gown and I stand in front of the coffee shop, this coffee shop, and then, shall I continue? I think that's really amazing, because at that time, I'm really glad that I'm the first master degree holder in my family, and they congratulated me, and you're good. I like it, of course. But then I think, can I go further? Because when I was a small kid, I think about whether I can be a successful consultant, marketing consultant one day. But of course, I know that since I didn't spend enough time in the study when I was young, so it is really hard for me to achieve my dream. Then, after so many years, I completed the master MBA program. Then I think, can I move on? Because if I just hold an MBA program, MBA degree, can I be a successful consultant? I don't think so, because there's so many MBA in the consulting firm, as we all know. Then, how about DBA program? Okay, so that is my motive. Then I do some research. And I ask some very experienced professor to see if I want to continue my study, especially if I want to pursue a doctorate degree, where can I get it? But of course, I have to work in the daytime. So I check it, and then finally, I go to PolyU and get this student card. That is my student card. If you join PolyU, then I'm sure that you have one better looking than mine. Yeah, and then this is my first class, statistics, okay? And it's really memorable, especially in the second lesson. One of our classmates, this gentleman, who's the eldest in the class, but at that time, he should be over mid-60s already. Yeah, but he's so keen and so determined to pursue the doctoral degree. But in fact, he's already an honorary doctor at that time. But he tell people that I really want to earn one with my own effort. And in the second lesson, in my first course, he asked for a leave of absence for 2 hours from the professor. Why? Because he needs to go to receive the Bohemia Medal presented by the CEO of Hong Kong. So I think, oh yeah, first class. Yeah, first class and then first class cohorts. And in fact, I'm really glad that all these of my classmates they're doing very well in their particular industries, in their company, CEO, their own business, so on and so on. And then we have to study time. It's really memorable. I don't know how to describe the experience because they're so devoted. Every one of us are really conscientious. They just can't save for something that is less perfect. Yeah, I will have do some research, and when we chat, and we found that all of us are perfectionists. So if you are perfectionist, and I think that may be a program for you. But of course, we all know that we are not perfect. We want to pursue some more knowledge to perfect ourselves. So then, I really enjoy the class. So we do the presentation. That is the cohort. So with our professor, and they all enjoy it. And then in this study time, we have to do a lot of presentation. It's okay. I think all of you will find it very comfortable in doing presentations. But the point is, you have to face challenges because every time, every class, we have to face the critiques. Yeah, so it's really challenging. I come from business field. I come from marketing, and that is my first presentation. Do you think that's good? Maybe, but the point is, my professor just told me that we don't want this. There's a cultural shock for me. Something like that. Does it look like academic? Yeah, it is. Of course, in the DBA program, when we are doing some research, academic research, we have to be serious, of course. But what I think is, of course, we can do it in a very academic fashion. But can we just touch up with more better-looking visuals? Of course. Then I insist to do my presentation in that style until the Viva. Yeah. So these theoretical models, I think. Do you think that's boring? But in fact, it is not, because behind the scene, we have do a lot of literature review, think about the logic. Then we come up with something visual, and all these theoretical models is really helpful in creating or discovering the knowledge. So we don't find that it is an easy task. So we form study group. So the last study group you have joined maybe some years ago, or maybe some decades ago. And in fact, you see, we're so serious about that. You see, some of us are eating our lunch during our study group. And then because we are preparing for the exam, I think it is easy for cohorts to join together and share the knowledge, share what we learn selflessly. We are the group. Yeah, you see, these when we come up with ideas, when we come up with a division of labors, we put it down in black and white, and then we divide our task. That's a selfless sharing. We treasure it very much. And other than that, other knowledge, fellowship is something very, very precious that we earn in this program. So you see, we have good time, and in fact, the most precious one is the mutual support, for good or for bad. I think we always share, we always support each other, especially in the second part. Patrice told you that we'll have the thesis 2. That means after the proposal, we have to work alone with our supervisor, academic supervisor. But at that time, we keep on connecting, we keep on supporting each other, just like the family. And I think this is a very, very precious moment for us. And of course, we are studying. We're not just doing a fellowship gathering. So these are some memorable time, unforgettable memory and overseas learning experience in the IMD. I regret that I didn't join them. So I would beg Patrice, in the future, if you need any volunteer helper, think about me, please. And then after some time, we come to a critical milestone, the research proposal presentation. We see then we're so serious in presenting our idea because we are facing a panel of well-experienced, world-class professors giving us challenging questions, and we have to answer to defend our proposal. And then, finally, we start our work. And then after 1.5 years, we come to our last mile. You see, I don't know how to describe the feeling, but it's really rewarding after such a long time of study. And when we present our final thesis in front of the panel, we do the viva, and after that, we earn our degree. And I think that's a moment we'll never forget. And that is the end of the DBA journey. So we line up in the congregation, and then we have photo with Professor Tong, Professor Zhang, and the program director, Professor Tong. And that's the end of the DBA journey. But not just with the professor in the school, but also we end the DBA journey together with our classmates. And it is so meaningful that, you see, there's an album. Each one of us will have our own album. And then we put all the photos, all the memorable stuff inside this, and then that just mark our DBA journey. And in fact, through this journey, I think one thing which is very, very important, and that is the support from your family. My wife, my son, and in fact, all of the families of all of the graduate cohorts, we share the moments together. And I hope that after 3 years, you will share the same moment, just like we did. And that is the end of the journey. And in fact, that is also the start of a new chapter in my life. So that is my album. Thank you.
Thank you, Preston.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to have another alumni, Dr. Eric Chin. He's going to celebrate his 10th anniversary of your DBA graduation. Eric was graduated in 2008. So this year we're at 10 years.
Yeah.
So let's give a hand to Eric going to share with you about our DBA Alumni Association.
Thank you,
very
Dr.
much.
Choi.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, all the potential cohorts of our DBA program. I would like to share the main purpose of our DBA alumni is, number one, to support the connection and cohesiveness of all our graduates from the DBA program. Secondly, is also connected and support with the DBA office and the program, and also providing and share our experience from our graduates with the cohorts in the DBA program. And finally, we build up a good image of the DBA in Hong Kong. As Dr. Choi had mentioned, we are the #1 and prestige program offered by PolyU in the DBA program. Now first, regarding the connection with our cohorts, we have around 140 alumni members. And the alumni is governed by the EXCO committee. And this year we have 17 graduates from different years in the past 20 years that we have different representatives sitting in our EXCO committee. There are many activities we host every year. I would just quote a few for your references. Number one, we will arrange the visit to different organizations so that we can have sharing amongst our alumni. Next week, I'm going to let a delegation of 24 of our alumni members and visiting legislative councils. so that we can understand more about the operation of Legislative Council, and also we can share with the Legislative Councillor understanding at a high level and also the inside story that happened in our Legislative Council. And also we will visit the Legislative Council with a 45 minutes. They will have a guided tour especially for our PolyU DBA alumni. We also have some fellowship event. For the second purpose, that we serve with the DBA cohorts and also with working with the DBA office. Every new year in the start of the classes, our EXCO members will visit all the newly joined cohorts in the class to extend our warm welcome to you, because you are not alone. We have the peer from all the hundreds of our DBA alumni to support you, because every year we will organize an informal talk, an informal dinner together, and then we will invite our cohorts to share the experience in tackling the most challenging job in the DBA learning, that is the thesis preparation. So we will share the experience from the peer so that you can build up your confidence. And regarding working with the DBA office, we closely work together. Like in the past year, we have the different celebration of the 80 years of the PolyU and also the business school together. And we're talking about nearly 100 of our cohort, our alumni, return back and support the different events. And also we offer ourselves as guest speakers in the different occasions to working with the DBA office and also with the cohorts together. That is briefly talk about the alumni. Personal experience, I'm also the first group of the students attend the IMD. Okay, it is a wonderful and fantastic learning experience in 5 days in Lausanne, in Switzerland, where we work with hundreds of international executives and top management and entrepreneurs. And it is an eye-opening learning experience. And secondly, we can also have different occasions to attend distinguished speakers around the world come here and then present in our DBA seminar, public seminar, which also extend and expand our horizon in these areas. So this briefly that covering on the alumni, and I look forward to meet you maybe in September in the first class or the second class in the training, that you become one of the big family of the DBA learning. Thank you very much. Thank you.